Hello, and welcome to my review of two digital citizenship courses, Be Internet Awesome and Common Sense Passport. I think it's important to understand what a digital citizen is, what digital citizenship is, and why I chose to investigate digital citizenship courses at all. The term digital citizen emerged out of discussions and concerns about the digital divide which related to who had access to technology. Berger in 2008 defined a digital citizen as those who use the internet every day. This encompasses having internet available easily, technical skill, and the ability to use its various functions like searching and communicating with others. Within my context, there are a great number of digital citizens, even at elementary level, as is evident from this infographic, which shows that even very young children have a regular access to the internet. Students are coming to school with more and more exposure to digital tools such as smartphones, tablets, and social networking apps. So it is clear that there are many digital citizens. So what? And what does this have to do with digital citizenship? And why is this a topic that we, as teachers, should be treating with in our classrooms? The most common definition used is that of Mike Ribble, author of Digital Citizenship in Schools, who described digital citizenship as the norms of appropriate, responsible behavior with regard to technology use. So, why should I teach my students these norms? Why is this my and your problem as educators? As Mike Ribble noted, I, like many teachers, considered it a technology problem, likely because I, like many teachers, are not familiar with the term, not familiar with developments in technology, and not trained on the topic. Well, this is where another study by Choi in 2016 grabbed my attention. Choi said, digital citizenship needs to be understood as a multidimensional and complex concept in connection with an interrelated but non-linear relationship with offline, place-based civic lives. So basically, our online lives are connected with our offline lives. This seems increasingly undeniable to me. It's no longer just a tool to access and use information. It's something we use that can impact on each other's lives, both positively and, unfortunately, negatively. We conduct similar behaviors and activities that we would always have done, but in a digital format. That includes antisocial behaviors, like bullying. For example, in 2020 in the UK, roughly 1 in 5 children aged 10 to 15 years experienced online bullying. It concerns me that now our behaviors are, in a sense, invisible to everyone, including teachers and parents. As we navigate this new setting, we are in a sense removed. There is a sort of digital depersonalization and disassociation, a disconnection from the very real consequences of our online actions. The screen between us and the person with whom we communicate acts as a sort of veil, providing a false sense of security or defense when we make the choice, possibly impulsively, to do something wrong. It is akin to stealing the cookie when no one is looking, a separateness from the unseen victim or consumer of what you share online. In the same way children who are abused bring the consequences of their abuse into the classroom, often in the form of behavioral issues, so too does their online life increasingly encroach into the classroom, for example, in the form of poor grades. As Mike Ribble points out, this is why teaching digital skills to students, even as young as elementary or pre-kindergarten, should be a priority for schools. Apart from them encountering difficult situations online on their personal devices, there are even risks when they use them in school. a place where you would expect a child to feel safe or where the teachers can intervene to make them feel safe. But based on personal experience, I now know this isn't true. I remember trying to use the school laptops, and one of my students had very easily accessed some strange game, and the other players were communicating using really inappropriate language. How did he even get access to this site? From a school? Didn't the school have things in place to prevent this? I didn't even really know what kind of site it was because the game looked so strange to me. It really opened up my eyes and quite frankly scared me. It was also scary that I was so unaware of what was out there or how our school and I could protect them, even though we were in a safe place. The COVID epidemic, therefore, has made choice words all the more true. Perhaps we could have turned a blind eye pre-COVID, but post-COVID, it is obvious that we are all increasingly digital citizens in almost every aspect of our lives, even in the classroom. And as mentioned in an OECD report, just because these kids have access to the internet, that doesn't mean they have the know-how to use it safely. If it is to become such an integral part of our schools, essentially signaling a sort of, this is great, it's okay to use it more and more and more, then we have a duty to similarly teach them how to use it responsibly. Like driving a car. We can't teach them to drive and then walk away. They need to know the rules and be able to use the tools safely so they don't hurt themselves or others. Mike Ribble went further to divide digital citizenship into 9 categories: etiquette, communication, education, access, commerce, responsibility, rights, safety, and security. To me, these 9 categories fall neatly into the subject social studies. I mean, we teach them about caring for the environment and making ethical choices. This is the same. It's just a digital environment. Thankfully, there is now lots of support for teachers to teach digital citizenship, such as Digital Passport, Digital Compass, Google Internet Awesome, and BrainPop's Digital Citizenship course. Today, I will look at just 2 of them, Google's Be Internet Awesome and Digital Passport. Both of them are freely available online. Okay, so now we're going to look at Common Sense Education's Digital Passport, which is specifically geared for grades 3 to 5. Right away, I can see that it's very easy to navigate this site, especially here where it says Get the Educator Guide. Google's Internet Awesome also comes with like a lot of extra resources to help you, and so does this one. What I like also is that it gives a very clear idea of what each of the games are and what they are aiming to teach the children. So you have Protect, which teaches them to create a strong password, Talkers, which considers the benefits of focusing on one task at a time. So it's teaching them about good behaviors. Share Jumper, deciding what information is appropriate to share, responding to cyberbullying, and using how to choose effective keywords for searching online, and mix and match. So students remix media content to create a new creative piece. So showing them how to be creative and how to make things on the internet. So that's really clear. So let's start by trying out password protect. Okay. So if I want to hear or not hear the person speak, there are buttons down here that allow me to control what I hear and whether the person will speak the instructions to me. So I just want to hear what it sounds like. So right away, I really don't like that voice. It's very robotic and completely unengaging. Also, I don't really like these graphics, and there's a lot of reading here, and nothing really moving or anything to keep my attention. Anyhow, let's continue. So start new game. Okay, so create a username, okay? And they explain that it should be one word and you can use up to 12 characters. So I'm going to go with Rosie Bean. Play game.
Do have some music. Maybe some people would like that music, but personally, again, I'm not finding it very engaging. In fact, I find it quite distracting. And there's a lot of reading to be done here. So I don't really like that. Okay, so choose a password. And they're telling you, look at what happens when you type the word password, which is what a lot of people still do. So they're saying, oh, that's not very safe. And your graphic overhead changes so that he's not quite so well clothed. He's definitely not wearing enough armor. Okay, so now we try again, and we want to make it 8 to 10 characters. So I'm going to go with Rosie Bean again. And now we have to add a number, add 2 or 3 numbers. So I'm going to go with Rosie Bean 12. And now we have to add a symbol. So Rosie Bean 12, and then maybe an exclamation point. And there you go. So maybe I'll put at symbol also. Okay, so now they've taught me what it takes to create a very strong password. It was very effective at teaching them, but I think it's too much reading for them, and it just really isn't that engaging. I don't see any, you know, anything on the screen to indicate what my points are or to see the numbers increasing as I play. But you do get this certificate at the end, which could be motivating for some people. And that's it. I do hope you enjoyed this review of Common Sense Digital Passport. Okay, so we're going to be looking at Google's Be Internet Awesome. And they teach children about digital citizenship via 4 different lands, known as Interland altogether. And you visit each land and you play some very easy to play games so that you can learn about digital citizenship. Right away, the music is very engaging, the character is very cute, and the instructions are very, very simple. So, right, let's do this. Let's check one out. And for each land that you conquer, you get a certificate of recognition. So, yeah, Reality River. Okay, here we go. Again, the music and the graphics are very endearing, and I like that she's speaking the instructions to us rather than us just having to read it. Cute. Okay, and the instructions are it's very easy to play using the arrows and the space bar. So anybody could play it, I think even very young children. It may be a bit boring for kids who have a lot of experience with video games, but for the novice and very young children, I think it works really well. Okay, so play. Mhm. So you have to jump on it by pressing the space bar. And I love that we get this very immediate positive reinforcement with the picture that came up, and we have our score over here. So it's very motivating. Okay, so you received a friend request from someone you don't recognize. You should accept them long enough to check out their profile, then decide, reject, thanks, but no thanks, and accept. Who doesn't love friends? The more the merrier. So I'll show you what happens if you don't choose something in time. You end up falling in the water, right? And then you can see your minus points. But you get a chance to do it again. So here we go. And I like that it's timed. It adds a bit of pressure so that it's, a little adds a little level of difficulty. So this is what happens when you get the wrong answer, you fall into the water. So let's see. Okay. All right. Now we've chosen the correct one. And I love that little jump and the little noise. It's very rewarding. Okay. Oops, you submitted your parents' credit card information to a music streaming service, then realized it was a scam. Oh dear. Again, you turn using the arrows to read each one. So should you delete the account? Should you let your parents know? Or, let's see. So quickly delete the account, see what happens. Oh dear, we're going to fall into the water, okay? So that's basically it. I think you get the idea here. I hope you've enjoyed this little very brief sort of review of one of the parts of Interland.